welcome everybody. It is our great delight and pleasure to be running an information session on our brand new program, which is called the Big LEAP. The Big LEAP is a partnership between Trobe University, Arrow Digital, and also with our delivery partners Investable and T-Hub, who are based in India. The purpose of this panel information session and panel discussion today is to let you find out a little bit more about the program, to be able to ask some questions, as well as to be able to hear from people who are founders like yourself and who are looking to grow and scale their businesses globally. But before we formally get started, it is my pleasure to acknowledge that the Trobe University and this event, albeit taking place on a virtual platform, respects and pays our respects to the many traditional custodians of the lands across Australia, and specifically here in the state of Victoria. We recognise their ongoing connection and value their appreciation and unique contribution, and also welcome anyone who is joining us, be they our elders past, present or emerging. Welcome. So for this session, we are going to present two of the leaders who will be supporting the Big LEAP. That's Jasmine Batra from Arrow Digital and Dr. Cerasela Tanescu from Trobe University. So it's my pleasure to hand over to Jasmine and to Cerasela to give us a little bit more background about the Big LEAP and how it all came about and what you can expect as part of this program.
Thank you, Catherine. So yeah, I'm Jasmine Batra. I'm the founder and director of Arrow Digital, a company that I started in 2007, about 3 years or 4 years after arriving into Australia. So I run a growth marketing agency helping startups, businesses who are looking to grow and scale with their growth marketing strategies, helping them, with their business marketing, their messaging, with being a Google partner, a Facebook partner. We help them with all the digital channels and really help them with getting a seamless and effective marketing strategy and helping them grow and scale. And this program came about with some of the work that I've been doing with Trobe, and of course, Trobe is known for leading the way in innovation and entrepreneurship and research, and having worked with as mentor with some of the earlier programs which Trobe has run, including the Global Market Accelerator Program, and my conversations with Cerasela, and both of us felt that there was a need for a program that really focuses on helping businesses scale and go beyond the current their geographies and help enable them and facilitate international expansion. So over, I think, a coffee and a muffin, in the La Trobe campus in the city, that's where this program was conceived and came about. So over to you, Cerasela.
Thanks, Jasmine. Hello, everyone. I am Cerasela Tanescu, and I'm the director of Innovate at La Trobe. Since 2017, we have supported around 280 startups and over 25 going overseas. I'm a migrant myself, so I do understand the hurdles that sometimes we have here. And we did this program with Jasmine, truly thinking that we can offer something, and we can offer a concrete support and make difference, and pave the way for the startups to actually scale faster and quicker.
Thank you, Cerasela. I know we had so many discussions around what would make make a really good program, and we really identified the key pillars to it. And I'm so proud of what we have, how we've put together this program and the partnerships that we have brought in to make sure that migrant founders can really accelerate their growth and be attractive to investors to fund that growth. Over to you, Catherine.
That's wonderful, Jasmine. Thank you so much, Charissella. And I love the idea that this program is conceived over a muffin. I think that's fantastic. Okay, so the next part of the session is an opportunity to see the program in a little bit more detail. So Jasmine, are you in a position to share the slide deck? Or... Thank you.
Yes, sure. Thank you. I'm going to share my screen and just share with you some of the ways that we have for you to be able to understand a little bit more about our premise for the program and how it can support you in your entrepreneurial journey. So really, to introduce the program again, let me sort of say hello again to all the founders. I know some of you may just be dropping into the session. So a big hello for all the business owners, founders, innovators who are all on the journey to grow your business. I mean, growing the business means getting more customers, and getting more customers means more capital, and more capital nearly fixes everything. So how do you accelerate growth, and how do you attract investors? The keys to accelerating growth and attracting investors is what we put in the scale-up matrix. So what goes into scaling a business, and how do you accelerate growth and attract investors? So if you're a business that is cut in my the way I see it is that there are two main elements of scalability. One is the market you serve, and second is the channels, how leveraged are your acquisition channels. So if you are a business that is serving a domestic market, which is a limited domestic market, that will sort of define how far you could grow. But if you want to leverage and really scale up, then you want to go beyond your current market that you're servicing to a bigger market. Like for founders here who are a service, who have a viable product, a scalable product that can have applications outside of Australia, you're currently finding your ideal customers, your target clients within this geography where we have 24 million people in Australia. So how do we look beyond this and go international? And what we are presenting with this program is the opportunity of expanding into India. Now, by way of context, like 24 million is just the population of one of the cities in India. New Delhi has the same population as the entire Australia. So you can imagine, if you want to really grow and expand, to be able to find the typical consumer markets or customer segments that you're looking for, no matter how niche they are, you will find a big market for that specific niche in India, with a 1.4 billion population. And the second aspect of scaling up is your acquisition channels. Like if your business is currently relying on one or two methods of how customers find you, how you find customers, that generally can be very restrictive. And when you grow beyond and have leveraged methodologies and are different channels working towards bringing you and funneling clients, that's when it grows, and that's a scaled business. But if you are working in a smaller market and just one or two channels, that's where you have a risk. The business has there's an inherent risk of perishing and a ceiling in the market, and which is not where you want to see yourself. With a risk of high failure. And if you are in a market, some of you in this room may be in a place where their business has tapped into international markets, but the acquisition channels are very limited. They are sort of, I know some of the clients who are pouring money in Google campaigns or Facebook ads and just sort of paying performance media to grow. And it is also dependent on the founder. And that is not easy as well. You want to be leveraged. It should not, your marketing should not just be all founder dependent. That's not, so to go to a stage where you go beyond that is where you would probably be in a phase where you are scaling and you have leverage channels, but maybe still serving a domestic market, and that's slow and painful. You don't want that. And if you now think of as a business, where I know founders in this room and those who are really looking to grow and scale, want to flourish, is where you know that you are leveraging partnerships. You are not acquiring customers one-on-one. I mean, to take the example of Canva, when they knew that they had a product which had a wide appeal, it was not about going to individuals and scaling. It was about partnerships with agencies where in one go they could get a whole lot of clients. So how do you leverage and find those partnerships is what this the model for scale up is. So what makes up, how do you scale? Cherisala, can I pass this on to you to share a little bit about the success saviors for it?
Yes. So first of all, what is needed for success? There's a couple of things. It's not just mainly it's about opportunity, and mainly it's about timing of the opportunity. But there are other things that are very important in a success story. One of them is a strategic roadmap. So most of the entrepreneurs, when they arrive at a point where we start to have clients, we start to do some sellings, and it's pretty engaging. There are so many things that need to be solved, and so many urgent small things that need your attention. And of course, you don't have the whole team to do this, so you have to do it by yourself. That actually makes you concentrate only on what you're doing right now. So to be a scalable business, it's actually linked with a strategic roadmap. You have to understand what you want in long term. You have to pursue the middle and long term. The short term, it's there to help you. It's a mean, but you should concentrate on all this. And that's where an external help and an external involvement of an accelerator program can be very fruitful, because this will help you to actually concentrate on your future roadmap and middle and long term, so you can actually plan your scalability and spot your opportunities in a defined roadmap. Jasmine.
Yeah, true, and it's true, Cherisala, what you shared about that it's a medium to long-term plan. It's not that you are to go international takes a lot of deliberation and planning, and working with somebody who's supporting you through that journey. It's something that could be on your horizon, not immediately, but over the next 12 months. And that's where something like this sort of supports you. And of course, when you are looking to go grow and scale, you need to have a brand, which is where, and the customer journey should be so seamless and consistent, so that when you are going to international markets, the business brand and the identity is not diffused. And you know exactly who is this 5-star client that you want, who is the kind of client who want to win, and being really clear about it. And in our work with mentors, we've often come across businesses who have a very diffused view of who their customer is, and they can serve different markets. But how do you make sure that when you go international, you have that clarity, and working with mentors can help you get clarity on which would be those lucrative segments, and then leveraging those channels, not just sort of acquiring clients, in a slow and painful way, but in a way that leverages partnerships So you have a repeatable system of getting clients in a big chunk and to be able to fulfill that. So Cherisela, I know you are very big on about the team and the structure, and I know some of the hot seats that we've pitches that you've judged. I see how this comes out so often. Can you talk a little bit more about these elements of the people in the basket?
Yeah. So thanks, Jasmine. One of the biggest thing, which is now, in particular post-COVID or during COVID, I might say, it's actually the people. We are, as entrepreneurs, we are all in shortage of talents. So finding the right people, having the possibility to actually engage with this, having a team composition that makes sense for actually the roadmap and the market we want to address, it's extremely important, and I think it's one of the cornerstones right now for the startups, and it's one of the biggest problems in startups right now. We have a very big ecosystem, so we are basically working with this ecosystem and with the students to actually solve this problem, and we are heavily engaging with startups to see what team might be fit for the roadmap and for the planning, for the future planning. And last but not least, the capital. You have to be sure when you go to the action that you have enough capital for the action. Now you're going to say, yes, but investors is hard to find and investors need a validation. You should go step by step, and actually what I generally do is I actually make it in small pieces and be assured when I go to the next piece that I have enough capital, or I found the capital and the resources to go to the next piece, because generally it doesn't go as fast as we would like to be and to go. And so here we need to be extremely careful in the planning, and that's where it comes back to the roadmap, it comes back to scalability, it comes back to adjust everything. So it's really a play between all these six let's say points to take into account that all fill in how your future would be and how you will plan and how your opportunity would grow and how your idea would evolve later on, because nothing is fixed, everything it's evolving and everything is changing in entrepreneurship. So you should have these six main things in your suitcase and adjust your planning as you go in respect with all these six points to it. Thanks, Jasmine.
Sure, yeah. So that's, so combining all these elements of what contributes to these success factors and how you could go higher up on that quadrant of being a flourishing business. This program, the way the program has been developed in phases. So there are 3 stages to this program, with first stage being a 3-month group program with intensive workshops, weekly workshops, where we really plug the holes in all these elements of how to perfect your pitch, how to set you up for success, how do you get your client persona right, how do you perfect your pitch to attract the capital. And then the second phase of the program is a 6-month one-on-one mentoring, where you would work with partners in the program, which who will share their inputs on enabling those networks for you to scale the business and to grow. And with our partnerships with Accelerator in India, we will be able to enable and facilitate testing of new markets, setting up pilot programs or trials. And then the stage 3rd, which is the immersion, is the last 3 months of that 12-month program, where it is really getting detailed into who are these partners. Let's negotiate deals. Let's sign up some deals. Let's look at how do we tangibilize all of that into real outcomes. And in this part of this, the program includes a trip to India, where you will actually get on the ground experience and be able to leverage the networks and meet people and understand the culture as well. So who is this program for? The program is open to all first and second generation migrant founders and co-founders. So if either you or your co-founder was born overseas, or either of your parents were born overseas, that's what qualifies you to be eligible to apply for the program. And you, as a business, you should be a revenue generating startup, meaning that you have a validated idea and product. And then we can look at opportunities of commercialization of that into the Indian market and really enabling, enhancing your capital raising potential as well. So you must have an ABN. You should be a future-focused, scalable business. And what a scalable business is that it is not service dependent. It is not serviced where it is so limited to that that area. You are a business which has an application over international potential, and you should have an annual turnover of over 20,000 if you're in regional, or over 50,000, between 50,000 and 1.5 million if you are in any other area outside of regional area. So if you meet these eligibility criteria, we would love for you to apply for the program. We are creating a culturally diverse cohort. Our goal is, and our vision is, to really bring people from all walks of life. The Australia that we have with so many people from different cultures, and that's what we want to see, is that this program brings in people from different countries, cultures, so that there is collaboration happening, that infusion of culture and values. Mm-hmm. So who's behind the program? So yeah, the program is backed by incubator funding from Oz Industry, so Arrow Digital, as a marketing agency, we bring in that whole growth marketing aspect of it, which makes some of the pillars in your success matrix. The partnership with Trobe being a leading organization in research and entrepreneurship, running many such accelerator programs to help propel the founder's journey to success. We have Investable, a Sydney-based early stage investment group that invests in promising startups, providing them capital to scale. And we have a partnership with T-Hub, which is a technology hub and enabler in the startup ecosystem based in India, with networks and government agencies and corporate organizations. So we are really proud of the partnerships and that we have created to deliver the program and make sure that we are setting our founders on a path to success. Together, we've worked with lots of startups who have gone and done exits, raised, a couple of clients that we work with have gone to the IPO route. Clients have been acquired by companies like News Limited, Fairfax. So we really want to transfer some of that knowledge that we have gained working with these amazing founders, like KidSpot, for example, one of my favorite early client who I worked with, a woman from America who was on the board of Seek and Migrant, in the way that was from America and built a business, which we worked on with her till the time that business was bought by News Limited for $45 million. So something that she started just as a parenting portal. So we have some really amazing clients who we have helped them grow and scale. And let's introduce you to our the mentors who you would be working with as part of the team. So that's the team that is there for you. Cherisella, who is just such a knowledge powerhouse, super connected. She'll always know someone who has done that or one should meet. Ian, who heads programs and partnerships at Investable. She again works with founders, very real in terms of what are the metrics that can help you grow and be attractive to investors. She will be running an investor attraction challenge, which will be happening at the end of the first 3 months of the program. So that will be something really fascinating to go through the challenge. And Priyanka from T-Hub, who manages international programs, is our go-to authority in terms of making sure that we are enabling the partnerships, setting deals, finding you the right domain expertise in India to help you leverage. Chesela, is there anything that I should have covered in this that you would like to add?
Yeah, no, all is good. Just wanted to say that we try to offer a holistic ecosystem for success. It's not just about funding, it's also about connections, it's also about understanding the market, it's also about the steps, it's also about the team you're going to be. And we also have a very flexible program that goes on 12 months, especially so that can be adapted to your needs and what you want to do. Besides that, we also are pretty lucky to cover most of the costs, 80% of the cost by the grant, which is offered by OS industry. And also, I think most important is that this holistic approach helps you and supports you through your journey to scale, which is not an easy one. There's lots of things to be taken into account, and it's not easy to be by yourself.
Yeah, true. Thank you. And really, that's what we are trying to make sure is happening, is to enable you in that 12-month horizon, not just cramming content in a short accelerator, which you come out of feeling, oh my God, I learned so much, but where do I start? But something which really helps you take it and supports you through the 12 months. So this is like, we have a pay-as-you-go model. I mean, the program is hugely subsidized. I know programs like this can cost 15-20K for international expansion, but this program is $3,500. Paid in this based on the stages that you qualify. So the first 22 startups who make to the program go through the 3-month program, and then we have an elimination with the investor challenge, and 10 successful startups go to the second stage, which is the accelerator stage, where they get one-on-one mentoring, and then from there only 3 startups make it to the final stage of the immersion. So this is a bit of an exciting reality show. Sort of a challenge for you, where you go in and go through different hoops to see what stage you make it to. And of course, the successful ones get a paid trip to India with those mentoring. So really, what do you get when you join the program? You will be able to accelerate your growth in a way which is sustainable, in a way which is enjoyable, a program that will help you attract investors, and where the business is running, all this at a way where there is a life. You have a life as a founder outside of the business, and the business, a scaled business, is one which can run without its founder, and that's the outcome we want to have for the founders who go through the program. So important dates: the applications are open, so get in your applications. The first cohort starts on the 30th of May. Our orientation day is on the 1st of June. So yeah, get in those applications, spread the word around to people in your network who you think would benefit from the program, and make time to see Catherine. You can, if you have any questions with the application, you can schedule a one-on-one call, and make time to have a chat with Catherine. Over to you, Catherine, now. To take us through the rest of the session.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for